Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS and Washington Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news when it comes to the Washington Commanders. Few stories have been more talked about lately than the situation with their star wide receiver, Terry Mclaurin. Now, it's not just about his incredible talent on the field, which we've all seen, catching a career-high 13 touchdowns in 2024 and consistently putting up over 1.0 yards in each of the last 5 seasons. But it's also about the drama off the field, the contract standoff that's been simmering beneath the surface. And let me tell you, this isn't just a regular negotiation. This is a story that could reshape the future of the franchise, the NFC East, and even Mclaurin's own career. So, let's dive deep into what's really going on here. First, for those who might not be fully up to speed, Terry Mclaurin is a player who's been the heart and soul of Washington's receiving corps since he was drafted in the 3rd round back in 2019. From day one, he's shown an unwavering commitment to this team, playing every game with passion and grit. Over the years, he's become a fan favorite, the kind of player who makes big plays when it matters most. His ability to stretch defenses and make acrobatic catches has made him one of the most reliable receivers in the league. But now, things are getting complicated. Mclaurin is in the final year of a 3-year, $68 million deal he signed in 2022, which pays him about $5 million this season. That's a solid deal, but after his breakout year, he's seeking a new contract that reflects his true value. And he's not just asking for a little bump, he's demanding respect for what he's contributed and what he can still bring to the table. What's really interesting is that Mclaurin has made it clear he wants out if things don't change. He's requested a trade, which is a pretty bold move for a player who's been so loyal to Washington. The reports say that negotiations have hit a dead end, and Mclaurin's frustration is mounting. He even held out the first 4 days of training camp, protesting the slow pace of negotiations, which came with a hefty fine of $50, $0 per day. That's no small amount, and it shows just how serious he is about getting a deal done. He eventually reported to camp on Sunday, but he did so as a hold-in. That means he reported to avoid further fines, but he remained on the physically unable to perform list, and he even forfeited a $500, $0 workout bonus in the process. So, it's clear that money and respect are both on the table here, and Mclaurin isn't willing to back down easily. Now, looking at the broader context, Mclaurin is 29 years old. When his next contract kicks in, he'll be 31, which is a key detail for NFL teams. The league has been trending towards giving big deals to younger receivers, those in their mid-20s, because they're seen as having more longevity and upside. Just look at what the Bengals did this offseason with T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, making them the highest-paid receiver duo in NFL history. Higgins and Chase are both in their mid-20s, and their deals average around $28, $75 million, and $40. $25 million annually, respectively. But those contracts are set to expire before they turn 30, which is a crucial factor for teams considering long-term investments. Mclaurin's situation is different. He's about to hit a point in his career where teams might be hesitant to commit big money, especially given the physical toll at his age. The Commanders, on their side, have publicly stated that they want Mclaurin to stay in Washington. They recognize his value, not just as a player but as a cornerstone of their offense and a leader in the locker room. General Manager Adam Peters has said that they'd like to get things resolved quickly, but as he's also acknowledged, sometimes these negotiations take longer than expected. He's emphasized that Mclaurin is a great player and that the team's goal is to keep him, but the reality is that the NFL is a business, and sometimes these stalemates lead to tough decisions. If a trade were to happen, any team interested would want some assurances about Mclaurin's contract, which makes this situation even more complex. So, what does all of this mean for the Commanders going forward? Well, it's about more than just one player. It's about the identity of the team and the future of their offense. Mclaurin has been the go-to guy in clutch moments, the receiver who can turn a game around with a single catch. His chemistry with quarterback Sam Howell has developed nicely, and fans are excited about what's possible if he stays healthy and happy. But the question now is whether the front office is willing to meet his demands, or if they'll decide to move in a different direction. A trade at this stage could bring in draft picks or young talent, but it would also send a message to the locker room about how the organization values its star players. And let's not forget the NFC East rivalry dynamics. Washington has been trying to build a competitive team for a few seasons now, but with the Eagles and Cowboys consistently at the top, every move counts. Losing a player like Mclaurin would be a blow, but it could also be a strategic move if the team believes they can rebuild or retool more effectively. On the flip side, if they manage to keep him, it could send a strong message that they're committed to competing now and in the future, especially if they can work out a deal that makes sense financially. What's really fascinating is the timing of all this. The NFL offseason is always full of surprises, but a contract dispute involving a player of Mclaurin's caliber in the final year of his deal is a significant story. It's a reminder that behind all the highlight reels and game-winning catches, NFL teams constantly face tough decisions about loyalty, value, and long-term planning. For Washington fans, it's a tense period. They want to see their star stay, but they also understand the business side of football. The team's front office has a delicate balancing act to perform, trying to keep their best players happy while managing salary cap constraints and future cap planning. Now, I want to shift a little to what this means in the context of the broader NFL landscape. The league is more competitive than ever, and at the heart of it all are players like Mclaurin, who can change the outcome of a game with a single play. His breakout season in 2024, topped by his 13 touchdowns, shows just how much potential he still has. If he moves somewhere else or stays in Washington, it will undoubtedly impact the team's offensive strategy. The Commanders have a talented quarterback in Sam Howell, who's shown flashes of brilliance, and having a reliable weapon like Mclaurin is crucial for their offensive success. Furthermore, as we look at the big picture, the NFL's approach to contracts and player longevity is evolving. Teams are more cautious about giving big money to receivers as they age, which makes Mclaurin's situation even more complicated. He's a player at a crossroads, trying to maximize his earning potential while still being aware of his age and the league's trends. That's why his request for a trade and his stance during training camp are so significant. They reflect not just his personal ambitions, but also a shifting NFL landscape where players are becoming more vocal about their worth. In the end, this story isn't just about one player or one team. It's about the evolving nature of NFL contracts, the importance of player empowerment, and how teams adapt to these changes. For Washington Commanders fans, it's a story filled with hope and uncertainty. Will they be able to keep Mclaurin? Will this situation force the team to reevaluate their approach to contracts and roster building? Or will it serve as a wake-up call that the league is moving towards a new era where players have more leverage than ever before? Whatever happens, one thing is for sure, this saga is far from over, and we're all watching closely. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Washington Commanders news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. So fans, what do you think? Should the Commanders do everything possible to keep Terry McLaurin? Or do you believe that a trade might actually benefit the team in the long run? Are you worried about his age and future contract prospects? Or do you see this as just another chapter in the story of a player who's proven he can be one of the best in the league? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I want to hear from you. Your opinions matter so much, not only to us but also to the future of the franchise. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates on this story and everything related to Washington Commanders. Stay tuned, stay passionate, and let's keep supporting our team no matter what. This is the time to stand even stronger, because stories like this remind us that football is more than just a game, it's a passion that unites us all.